Today I am here with a new video about common sense. Let's start from its definition. Common sense is often described as the ability to make sound judgments based on simple, practical knowledge that most people are expected to have. However, what is considered common sense can vary depending on culture, experience, and personal background. Some argue that common sense isn't truly universal. What seems obvious to one person might not be to another, especially if they have different life experiences. Others believe common sense is just a mix of intuition and learned knowledge that helps people navigate everyday situations. In short, sound practical judgment concerning everyday matters, based on a simple perception of the situation or facts. This means it's the ability to make reasonable decisions without needing specialized knowledge, just using logic and life experience. Some examples of common sense in everyday life. Looking both ways before crossing the street. You don't need to be taught every time, it's an obvious safety measure. Not touching a hot stove. If something is visibly burning or steaming, it's common sense to avoid touching it. Bringing an umbrella if the sky is dark and cloudy, it's a logical assumption that it might rain. Not leaving valuables unattended in a public place. Most people know that this increases the risk of theft. Wearing warm clothes in cold weather. It's common sense to dress appropriately for the weather to avoid getting sick. Not sending money to a stranger who promises huge rewards. Scams exist, and common sense tells us to be skeptical of unrealistic offers. Turning off the lights when leaving a room. It saves electricity, which is both cost-effective and environmentally friendly. Not texting while driving. Distracted driving is dangerous, so common sense tells us to focus on the road. Common sense is supposed to be common. Why do so many people seem to lack it? Here are some reasons. 1. Different life experiences. What seems obvious to one person might not be to another. People grow up in different environments, so what they learn as common sense varies. 2. Lack of critical thinking. Some people don't question things or think through consequences before acting. They rely on emotions or habits rather than logic. 3. Information overload. With so much information available, especially online, people sometimes overcomplicate simple things instead of using basic judgment. 4. Cognitive biases. People often believe what they want to believe rather than what makes the most sense. Personal biases can cloud judgment. 5. Overconfidence. Some people assume they already know everything, so they ignore simple, practical knowledge. 6. Education versus practical knowledge. Being highly educated doesn't always mean having common sense. Some very smart people lack everyday practical skills. 7. Emotional decision-making. When emotions take over, fear, anger, excitement, logic sometimes goes out the window, leading to poor decisions. So, while common sense exists, it's not always automatic. It depends on experience, mindset, and the ability to think clearly. Common sense is one of the most important life skills because it helps people make good decisions, avoid trouble, and navigate daily life smoothly. Here's why it matters. 1. Helps with problem solving. It allows people to quickly assess situations and make practical choices without overthinking. 2. Prevents costly mistakes. Simple precautions like locking doors, not sharing sensitive info, or following safety rules can prevent accidents or financial losses. 3. Improves relationships. Common sense helps in social interactions, like knowing when to listen, when to apologize, or when to avoid an argument. 4. Increases independence. People with good common sense don't always need instructions for basic things, they figure things out on their own. 5. Helps in the workplace. Employers value employees who can think on their feet, solve simple problems, and act responsibly without constant supervision. While common sense alone isn't enough for success, it complements education, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence to create a well-rounded, capable person. Do you think common sense can be taught, or is it something people just have naturally? Yes. While some people seem to have natural common sense, it can absolutely be developed through life experience. The more situations a person encounters, the better their judgment becomes. Observation, watching others and learning from their mistakes helps develop practical thinking. Critical thinking skills, teaching people how to analyze situations logically, improves their common sense. Practical education. Schools often focus on theory, but real-life decision-making can be taught through problem-solving activities. Is it natural? Some aspects of common sense might be instinctive, like avoiding danger or understanding basic social cues, but most of it is shaped by culture, upbringing, and personal experiences. So, while some people might seem naturally gifted with common sense, it's really something that grows over a time. Common sense is a crucial life skill that helps people make sound decisions in everyday situations. While some aspects may be instinctive, much of it is shaped by life experiences, observation, and critical thinking. It is not just something people are born with, it can be developed and improved over time. Factors like upbringing, education, and emotional intelligence play a role in how well someone applies common sense. Though it may seem uncommon at times, fostering awareness, logical thinking, and practical knowledge can help individuals strengthen their judgment and make smarter choices in life. Ultimately, common sense is both learned and practiced.